Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Easy English Podcast. I'm Hannah, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Alex.
Hey everyone, it's great to be here. We have a really practical topic today, don't we, Hannah?
We absolutely do. Today, we are talking about navigating the checkout lane at the supermarket. Specifically, we're focusing on supermarket small talk and those quick, sometimes stressful questions the cashier asks you.
Oh, that is such a good topic. Even for people who have been learning English for a long time, the checkout lane can feel like a high-pressure zone. You're trying to pack your bags, pay, and suddenly the cashier asks you 3 questions in a row very quickly.
Yes, it's so true. Your heart starts beating a little faster, and you just want to say yes to everything so you can leave. But don't worry. Today we are going to break down exactly what cashiers say, what they mean, and how you can answer confidently.
Exactly. Let's start with why this feels so stressful. When you're in a classroom or listening to a podcast, the English is clear and slow. But at the supermarket, there is a lot of background noise. Shopping carts are squeaking, kids are crying, and the cashier is scanning items. Beep, beep, beep.
That background noise is a huge factor. In linguistics, we call that auditory overload. Your brain is trying to focus on too many sounds at once. Plus, checkout interactions are very fast. The cashier wants to keep the line moving, so they speak quickly.
And sometimes they use short phrases or slang. For example, instead of saying, "Would you like a plastic bag for your groceries today, sir?" they might just mumble, "Need a bag?"
Yes, need a bag or even just bag. It sounds so simple, but if you're not expecting it, it can sound like total gibberish.
Gibberish, that's a great word, Hannah. Can you explain what gibberish means for our listeners?
Of course. Gibberish means language or sounds that have no meaning or are impossible to understand. For example, if someone speaks too fast, you might say, "I'm sorry, that just sounded like gibberish to me."
Perfect example. So our goal today is to turn that checkout gibberish into clear, easy English. Let's start with the very first moment you walk up to the cashier. What is the first thing they usually say to you?
Usually, they will greet you. They might say, "Hi, how are you doing today?" Or, "How's it going?"
Right. And this is a classic small talk trap. Many English learners think they need to give a long answer here. They might start explaining that they have a headache or that they're tired from work.
Oh, definitely. But in reality, this is just a polite formula. The cashier doesn't actually want a detailed medical or emotional update. They are just being friendly.
Exactly. It's a social ritual. So how should a learner respond to "How are you" in this situation?
Keep it very short and positive. You can say, "Good, thanks. How are you?" Or, "I'm doing well, thank you. And you?"
Yes, keep it simple. "Good, thanks" is my go-to response. It's polite, it's fast, and it shows you are friendly. But wait, what if the cashier says, "Did you find everything okay?"
That is a very common question in US and UK supermarkets. "Did you find everything okay?" means, did you find all the items you wanted to buy, or did you have trouble looking for something?
Right. And 99% of the time, even if you couldn't find the specific brand of peanut butter you wanted, the easiest answer is just, "Yes, thank you." But what if you actually did have a major problem?
If you really couldn't find a main item, like milk or eggs, you can say, "Actually, I couldn't find the eggs." They might call a colleague to help you, or tell you where they are. But usually, a simple, "Yes, I did, thanks," is perfect. It keeps the line moving quickly.
Exactly. The checkout lane is all about speed and efficiency, but with a polite smile. Now, once the scanning begins, the next big hurdle is the question about bags. Hannah, what does the cashier usually ask here?
They will usually ask, "Do you need any bags?" Or, "Would you like plastic or paper?" In many places now, especially in Europe and parts of the US, bags are not free. You have to pay a few cents for each bag.
That's a really important point. If you brought your own reusable bags from home, which is great for the environment, you can say, no thank you, I brought my own. Or if you do need them, you can just say, yes please, 2 bags would be great.
Yes, I brought my own is a fantastic phrase to learn. Let's practice that. I brought my own. It's very natural. Now, what if they ask, do you want me to leave the milk out? Or do you want the milk in a bag?
Ah, yes. If you buy heavy items with handles, like a big jug of milk or juice, the cashier might ask, do you want this in a bag? Or can I leave this out? Leave it out means they will not put it in a bag. You can just carry it by its handle. It saves a bag.
Right. You can answer, you can leave it out, thanks. Or, no bag for the milk, please. It's simple and very clear. Now, let's move on to the next common question, which is about loyalty cards or rewards programs. This one always confuses people.
Oh, absolutely. Every store has its own club, card, or app. The cashier might ask, do you have a loyalty card? Or, are you a member of our rewards program? Or sometimes they just say, do you have your store card today?
Yes, they might just say, do you have your savings card? If you don't have one, don't worry. You don't have to explain why. You can just say, no, I don't, or no, not today.
And if you do have it, you can hand it to them. Scan it on your phone, or sometimes you can type your phone number into the little payment screen. If you want to type your number, you can say, can I enter my phone number?
That is a great phrase, Alex. Can I enter my phone number? Many stores link your rewards to your phone number, so you don't even need to carry the physical plastic card. It's so convenient.
It really is. Now, after the items are scanned and the bags are ready, it's time to pay. This is where you hear, how would you like to pay today? Or cash or card?
This is very straightforward. You can reply with just 1 or 2 words. Card, please, or cash, please. If you are using a mobile payment, like Apple Pay or Google Pay, you can ask, do you take mobile pay? Or, can I tap my phone?
Can I tap is extremely common now because of contactless payments. You just tap your card or phone on the machine. If it works, you will hear a beep and the screen will say, approved.
And then comes the final question of the transaction. The cashier will almost always ask, would you like your receipt? Or, do you want your receipt in the bag?
Yes. A receipt is the paper slip that shows what you bought and how much you paid. Sometimes they offer to email it to you, especially in modern shops. They might ask, paper or email receipt?
If you want the paper one, you can say, yes, please, or in the bag is fine. If you don't want it, you can say, no thank you, I'm good. I'm good is a very casual way to say no thank you in this situation.
I use I'm good all the time. It's polite, but very relaxed. No, I'm good, thanks. It tells the cashier they can throw the receipt away. It's a great little phrase to sound more like a native speaker.
It really is. And you know what? Sometimes even before you pay, the cashier might ask you something that can be a bit confusing for language learners. They might look at you and ask, did you find everything okay?
Oh, yes, that is a classic. Almost every cashier asks this when you first walk up to the counter. They are basically checking if your shopping experience was good or if you had any trouble finding a specific item on the shelves.
Exactly. And the secret here is that they are usually just being polite. They do not expect a long story about how you searched for 20 minutes to find the organic peanut butter. The best way to answer is quick and positive.
Right. You can simply say, yes, thank you, or yes, I did, thanks. It keeps the line moving and it is very friendly. But Hannah, what if you actually couldn't find something?
That is a great question. If you spent half an hour looking for, let's say, fresh garlic and couldn't find any, you can say, actually, I couldn't find the garlic. Do you have any in stock?
It is perfectly fine to ask, But keep in mind that the cashier might have to call someone else to check, which might take a moment.
Yes, so if you are in a rush, it might be better to just say, yes, thank you, and try another day. Or ask a worker who is actually walking around the aisles before you get to the checkout lane.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about another common situation at the checkout. In many countries, especially nowadays, cashiers will ask you about store loyalty cards. They might ask, do you have our loyalty card? Or are you a rewards member? Or even just, do you have a phone number with us?
Ah, yes, loyalty cards. These are the cards that give you discounts or points every time you shop at that specific supermarket. Almost every store has one now. Yes, they do. And if you don't have one, it is very easy to feel a bit put on the spot. But the answers are very simple. If you don't have one, you can just say, no, I don't, or no, not today.
And if you actually want to sign up because you shop there often, you can ask, how do I sign up? Or can I join today? The cashier will usually give you a quick form or ask for your phone number to set it up right there.
Yes, and sometimes they might even ask for your phone number because your loyalty account is connected to it. They will say you can type your number on the keypad. The keypad is the little machine with buttons where you also put your credit card.
That's a very useful word, keypad. K-E-Y-P-A-D. It's the small plastic box with numbers on it. You will hear, go ahead and enter your phone number on the keypad. Enter just means type or press the buttons.
Right, enter your number. It sounds a bit formal, but it just means type it in. Now, Alex, what about when the cashier asks you if you want to donate money to a charity? This happens a lot at supermarkets in the US and the UK.
Oh, absolutely. They might say, would you like to round up your total for charity today? Or would you like to donate $1 to the local food bank? This can catch people off guard if they aren't expecting it.
It really can. First, let's explain round up. If your total bill is $19.50 and you round up to $20, that extra 50 cents goes to the charity. It's a very small amount, but it adds up.
It's a great system, but you should never feel pressure to say yes if you don't want to. It is completely okay to say no. To do this politely and quickly without overthinking your grammar, you can just say no thank you with a polite smile or not today thanks.
Exactly. Not today, thanks is the perfect phrase. It is polite, it is short, and it shows you're making a conscious choice without being rude. You don't need to explain why you are saying no. You don't need to say, oh, I don't have enough money. Just not today, thanks is perfect.
I agree. Cashiers ask hundreds of people this question every single shift. They will not be offended or upset if you say no. They will just press a button on their screen and move on to the payment.
That is so true, Alex. They really do not mind at all. Now, let us move on to something that many language learners actually look forward to, but also feel nervous about: making simple small talk with the cashier while they scan your items. This is a brilliant, low-pressure way to practice your English in under 60 seconds.
It is the perfect real-life classroom. You have a friendly person who is literally paid to be polite to you, and the conversation is guaranteed to be short because other people are waiting in line behind you. It is a win-win situation.
Exactly. You do not need to tell them your life story. You just need a few simple formulas. The most common question you will hear, especially on a weekend, is, do you have any plans for the rest of the day? Or, how is your weekend going?
Right. And a great, easy formula to answer this is not much, just followed by an activity. For example, not much, just doing some grocery shopping. Or not much, just going to watch a movie later. It is very natural.
I love that formula. Let's try another one. If they ask, how is your day going? You can use the good, thanks, how about yours formula. It's short, polite, and throws the ball back into their court. Let's practice that, Alex. How is your day going?
Good, thanks. How about yours? See how easy that was? It flows so naturally.
And you know, Hannah, sometimes the cashier is the one who starts a little conversation about an item you're buying. They might look at your basket and say, "Oh, these strawberries look delicious today." Or, "Have you tried this brand of coffee before?"
Oh, I love when they do that. It feels so warm. If they comment on an item, a great formula is to agree and add a tiny detail. For example, if they say the strawberries look good, you can say, "Yes, they do. I'm planning to make a fruit salad tonight." Or if they ask about the coffee, you can say, "Yes, it's my absolute favorite. I buy it every week."
That is a wonderful tip, Hannah. Adding that one tiny extra detail makes the conversation feel genuine, but it still keeps it under 30 seconds. It shows you're confident and friendly.
And remember, if you do not understand what they said because they spoke too quickly or the supermarket was too noisy, do not panic. You can just smile and say, "Sorry, I didn't quite catch that." Or even simpler, "Sorry?" with a rising intonation. They will happily repeat themselves.
Yes, never be afraid to ask someone to repeat themselves. It is a completely normal part of everyday communication, even for native speakers. Supermarkets are allowed places with music playing and cash registers beeping.
So true. Well, once the payment is done, the receipt is printed, and your small talk is finished, there is just one last step, leaving the checkout lane. What is the best way to say goodbye, Alex?
Keep it classic and warm. A simple, "Thank you, have a great day," or "Have a good evening" is perfect. They will usually reply with, "You too," and then you are on your way feeling proud that you successfully navigated the checkout lane in English.
It really is a great feeling of accomplishment. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of our episode today. We hope these tips, phrases, and small talk formulas help you feel super confident the next time you visit a supermarket.
Absolutely. Go out there and try practicing just one of these phrases this week. Thank you so much for listening to the Easy English Podcast. Have a wonderful day, keep practicing, and we will talk to you next time.